Buddhism, with its profound teachings on life, suffering, and the path to inner peace, provides invaluable insights on how to approach life's most difficult situations. Central to its philosophy is the idea that true victory is not found in external achievements, but in mastering one's mind and emotions. This perspective ensures that one can never truly lose, regardless of the situation. Here, I explore how core Buddhist teachings empower individuals to maintain balance and resilience even when faced with adversity. The concept of dukkha, understanding suffering Buddhism, begins with the acknowledgement of suffering, known as dukkha, which is outlined in the Four Noble Truths. The first truth states that suffering is an intrinsic part of life. Whether it is the pain of loss, fear of change, or the anxiety stemming from uncertainty, suffering is universal. However, Buddhism does not view suffering as merely negative. It is seen as an opportunity for growth and insight. The idea that you will never lose is deeply rooted in understanding that suffering is not a sign of defeat, but a natural part of existence. The second noble truth explains that suffering arises from tanha, or craving. We suffer because we attach ourselves to desires, wanting things to be different from how they are. Recognizing this leads to the third noble truth. There is a way out of suffering, which is achieved through the cessation of craving. Equanimity, the unshakable mind. One of the most powerful teachings in Buddhism is upekkha, or equanimity. It refers to a state of mental calmness where one maintains composure regardless of external circumstances. An equanimous person is unperturbed by praise or blame, success or failure, joy or sorrow. This quality does not mean indifference, but rather the strength to stay centered in the midst of life's chaos. Equanimity is cultivated through mindfulness and meditation, which train the mind to observe without reacting impulsively. By developing this quality, one builds resilience and gains the ability to face any situation with clarity. The idea that you never lose is embodied in the understanding that true defeat only occurs when we allow external events to disturb our inner peace. The middle way, balance in all aspects. Buddha's teaching of the middle way is another guiding principle that prevents one from ever truly losing in life. The middle way emphasizes avoiding extremes. Neither indulgence nor severe asceticism leads to true fulfillment. By living a balanced life, one avoids the highs and lows that can create emotional turbulence. This approach encourages moderation and teaches that contentment is found not in constant pursuit, but in the simple presence of being. The middle way helps individuals deal with both success and failure. When we achieve something, we understand that it is not the ultimate source of happiness. Conversely, when faced with failure, we recognize that it is not the end of our journey. This balanced view ensures that life's circumstances do not overwhelm us, as we see them as temporary and part of a larger continuum. The role of karma, shifting perspective on success and failure. The law of karma is a fundamental teaching in Buddhism, stating that our actions create future experiences. Good actions lead to positive outcomes, while harmful actions bring suffering. However, this concept is often misunderstood as a simplistic cause and effect formula. Karma is more subtle and complex, involving not only outward actions, but also intentions. Understanding karma allows one to adopt a broader perspective on what constitutes success or failure. In this view, the immediate outcomes of our actions are not as important as the intentions behind them and the lessons they teach us. If a person acts with compassion, wisdom, and non-attachment, they have already succeeded, regardless of how things unfold externally. Thus, in the realm of intentions and spiritual progress, one never loses. Embracing impermanence, freedom from fear of loss. Buddhism teaches that all things are anicca, or impermanent. This realization helps individuals navigate life without clinging to outcomes or being paralyzed by the fear of loss. When one deeply understands that everything changes, both joy and suffering become more manageable. We learn to appreciate the good moments without holding on to them desperately and face the bad moments without despair. The awareness of impermanence creates a profound sense of freedom. If we know that our current situation, be it positive or negative, is temporary, we can face it with acceptance. This acceptance is not passive, but an empowered stance that allows for thoughtful action without the anxiety of permanent defeat. In embracing impermanence, we grasp the truth that we never really lose, because nothing is ever static or final. Compassion, the ultimate victory. Compassion, or karuna, is central to Buddhist teachings. Acting with compassion transforms our perspective on victory and defeat. When our primary aim is to alleviate the suffering of others, our actions become meaningful, regardless of whether we achieve traditional success. The Dalai Lama often emphasizes that compassion is not just a religious practice, but a practical approach to life. By cultivating compassion, we move beyond the ego-driven pursuit of winning or losing and instead focus on shared human experiences. Compassion extends inward as well. Self-compassion, the practice of being kind and understanding toward oneself in times of failure or difficulty, ensures that setbacks do not become sources of long-term suffering. Instead of harsh self-criticism, self-compassion allows us to learn, grow, and continue forward with renewed strength. Meditation, cultivating inner resilience. Meditation is perhaps the most practical tool that Buddhism offers for ensuring that we never lose at any situation. Through practices such as vipassana, insight meditation, and metta, loving-kindness meditation, individuals develop the mental fortitude to face challenges with grace. Meditation teaches us to observe our thoughts and emotions without being carried away by them. This practice builds resilience, helping us respond rather than react to life's ups and downs. By cultivating mindfulness, we become aware of the present moment, which is where true power lies. The mind's tendency is to dwell in the past or worry about the future, but mindfulness anchors us in the now. In this present awareness, we see that we are not defined by our circumstances, but by our response to them. This understanding ensures that no external situation can ever lead to true defeat. The power of acceptance, transforming challenges into growth. One of the most profound aspects of Buddhist philosophy is the emphasis on acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean resignation or passivity. Rather, it is a clear-sighted recognition of reality as it is. This principle empowers individuals to face difficulties without feeling overwhelmed by frustration or denial. When life presents us with an unexpected setback, such as the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, or a personal failure, our initial reaction is often resistance. We think, "This shouldn't be happening," or "Why me?" These thoughts generate mental and emotional turbulence, adding to our suffering. Buddhism teaches that accepting the present moment as it is allows us to move beyond this initial shock and respond more effectively. Acceptance turns challenges into learning opportunities. When we face our struggles without denial, we gain clarity about what can be changed and what cannot. This discernment helps us channel our energy toward constructive solutions or internal growth. The teaching that you never lose becomes evident here. Even when circumstances do not change as we hope, our acceptance and response can transform them into moments of personal evolution. Letting go of the ego. Freedom from winning and losing. The concept of anatta, or non-self, is another key element in Buddhism that helps dissolve the idea of winning or losing. The ego craves validation, praise, and recognition, and it fears failure, criticism, and rejection. This attachment to the ego's desires is a primary source of suffering. By understanding that the self is not a fixed, unchanging entity, but a fluid combination of experiences, perceptions, and consciousness, we become less attached to the outcomes of our actions. The ego loses its grip on us, and we begin to operate from a place of genuine intention rather than seeking approval or fearing disapproval. This teaching can be applied practically in many areas of life. For example, if one is working on a project at work or pursuing a personal goal, the focus shifts from needing to win at any cost to simply doing one's best with integrity. Success and failure then are seen as temporary states that do not define who we are. This shift in perspective ensures that even when external outcomes are not favorable, the deeper inner satisfaction of acting in alignment with one's values remains intact. Practicing gratitude, a perspective shift. Gratitude is not always highlighted as a primary Buddhist practice, but it aligns beautifully with Buddhist teachings on contentment and mindfulness. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack or what has gone wrong to what we have and what is going well. This practice is powerful in preventing feelings of defeat. When faced with difficult circumstances, taking time to acknowledge even small positives can change our mental and emotional state. For example, during a period of financial strain, one might find gratitude in the support of friends, the ability to learn new skills, or simply having the resilience to face the situation. Practicing gratitude ties into the Buddhist practice of mindfulness by anchoring the mind in the present moment. Instead of worrying about future outcomes or ruminating on past mistakes, gratitude brings our awareness to what is good and abundant in the now. This mental shift can prevent the sense of loss or failure from dominating our outlook. The community aspect. Finding strength in Sangha Buddhism emphasizes the importance of Sangha, or the community of practitioners, as a source of support and strength. While inner work and meditation are individual practices, the presence of a supportive community can reinforce resilience and foster a sense of shared purpose. Being part of a Sangha means sharing experiences, learning from others, and supporting each other through challenges. The lesson here is that we don't have to face life's hardships alone. Reaching out for support, whether through formal meditation groups, friends, or even online communities, allows us to share our burdens and receive insights and encouragement. This communal support is yet another reason why, in Buddhism, one can never truly lose. The shared strength of others helps us regain balance and perspective during difficult times. Patience and persistence. Overcoming adversity. Buddhism teaches that spiritual progress and mastery over the mind require khanti, or patience, and virya, or perseverance. Life will inevitably test us with long periods of uncertainty or challenges that take time to resolve. During such periods, patience and persistence become essential tools. These virtues do not imply passive waiting, but rather an active, calm endurance. By cultivating patience, one learns to face difficulties without anxiety or haste. Perseverance complements this by ensuring that we continue to put effort into meaningful actions even when results are not immediate. For example, if someone is facing a prolonged illness or a challenging financial period, patience and persistence keep them moving forward. The understanding that everything, including difficult times, is impermanent gives hope and prevents despair. With these tools, individuals can find ways to grow and adapt, confirming that they never truly lose. They simply pass through cycles of change. Mindful action. Responding rather than reacting. The practice of mindfulness, a sati, is fundamental in Buddhism, teaching individuals to observe thoughts and emotions without becoming entangled in them. This awareness allows for thoughtful responses instead of impulsive reactions. By acting mindfully, we ensure that our responses to life's challenges are skillful and aligned with our deeper intentions. For instance, in a situation where one feels wronged or faces injustice, the immediate reaction might be anger or retaliation. However, a mindful approach allows one to pause, assess the situation, and choose a response that aligns with wisdom and compassion. This approach not only prevents regretful actions, but also turns potentially negative situations into opportunities for growth and improved relationships. By mastering mindful action, we reinforce the idea that true loss does not occur when external challenges arise, but only when we allow them to push us off our path of conscious living. Seeing beyond duality, the illusion of winning and losing. A more profound aspect of Buddhist philosophy is the understanding that dualities such as winning and losing, success and failure, are constructs of the mind. The Heart Sutra famously states that form is emptiness and emptiness is form, emphasizing that all phenomena are interconnected and transient. From this perspective, the concepts of winning and losing dissolve into a broader, non-dual understanding of life. What might appear as a setback can be the seed for future growth, and what seems like success may bring unforeseen challenges. This insight allows one to move through life with less attachment to outcomes, realizing that every experience contributes to one's spiritual journey. In this state of non-attachment, one experiences a deep sense of peace and equanimity. External circumstances lose their power to define one's sense of self or happiness. Thus, with the understanding of non-duality, we find that we never truly lose. We simply continue to flow with the experiences of life, enriched by each moment. The unyielding nature of inner strength. In Buddhist philosophy, the notion of true resilience is deeply connected to the development of inner strength and the realization that this strength cannot be eroded by external circumstances. This inner resilience, cultivated through practices such as meditation, mindfulness, and compassionate action, forms a fortress of the mind and heart. It is a space where peace remains untouched by the chaos of the outer world. One might ask, how does this inner strength ensure that one never loses? The answer lies in the recognition that while the world around us is constantly changing and filled with uncertainty, our inner landscape can be nurtured to remain steady. This steadiness, or unshakable peace, is what allows us to navigate life's highs and lows without losing ourselves to them. Consider the metaphor of a tree that stands tall through seasons of sunshine, rain, and storms. Its strength comes not from avoiding harsh weather, but from the roots that anchor it deep within the earth. In the same way, Buddhist teachings encourage us to cultivate roots, inner virtues, and understandings that anchor us so we can weather life's storms without being uprooted. No loss can undermine this inner strength, making every situation one where growth or insight is gained. Embracing life as a teacher, learning from every experience. Buddhism frames life itself as a teacher, with every experience offering a lesson. Whether facing triumph or defeat, pleasure or pain, we are presented with opportunities to understand ourselves and the nature of existence better. In this light, every situation, no matter how challenging, becomes a part of our personal and spiritual development. This teaching shifts the mindset from a fear of failure to a curiosity about what can be learned. For example, a failure in a career or personal goal, rather than being a point of despair, can be reframed as an experience that offers valuable lessons. What did we learn about our strengths, limitations, or the values we hold? How did this experience help us develop patience, creativity, or compassion? The Buddhist approach encourages looking at each moment with the question, what is this trying to teach me? When we cultivate the habit of seeing life as a continuous learning process, the concept of losing fades. Instead, every moment, even those marked by pain or disappointment, adds depth and richness to our journey. Letting go of attachments, freedom from suffering. A cornerstone of Buddhist teaching is the idea that attachment is the root of suffering. We become attached to outcomes, people, identities, and material possessions, believing that they define our worth or happiness. However, these attachments create a fragile sense of security because they are, by nature, impermanent. The practice of non-attachment does not mean disengaging from life or becoming indifferent. Instead, it involves participating fully while understanding that clinging to specific outcomes leads to suffering. By letting go of these attachments, we create space for genuine contentment that is not dependent on circumstances. For example, an athlete who clings to the idea of winning as the only acceptable outcome sets themselves up for suffering if they lose. However, an athlete who trains and competes with full dedication without the desperate need to win finds satisfaction in the process itself. This shift in focus ensures that they never truly lose, as they have already gained the joy of self-expression, discipline, and the experience of participating. The power of intention, redefining success. In Buddhist thought, intention is more important than the result of one's actions. The karmic weight of an action depends not just on what is done, but why it is done. This principle is empowering because it shifts the focus from outcomes, which we cannot always control, to intentions, which we can. When we align our actions with positive intentions, such as kindness, honesty, and effort, we achieve a form of success that is independent of external validation. If we act with genuine intention, then, even if the outcome is not what we hoped for, we have succeeded in maintaining integrity and contributing positively to our own karma and the well-being of those around us. This understanding reshapes the way we view failure. Instead of seeing failure as a sign that we have lost, we can see it as part of the natural ebb and flow of life, an event that holds as much significance as success, especially if our intention was pure. It ensures that our self-worth remains intact and unmoved by external fluctuations. Compassion, building resilience through connection. Compassion, or karuna, plays a significant role in how we respond to adversity. When we face challenges, practicing compassion toward ourselves prevents us from falling into cycles of self-blame or harsh judgment. This practice is known as self-compassion, and it is a powerful tool for maintaining resilience. Self-compassion involves treating oneself with the same kindness and understanding that one would extend to a close friend. It allows for the acknowledgement of mistakes without letting them define us. For example, if someone is dealing with the aftermath of a failed business venture, self-compassion helps them process their emotions, learn from the experience, and move forward without becoming mired in guilt or regret. Moreover, compassion toward others creates an interconnected sense of humanity that reduces the weight of personal suffering. Realizing that everyone experiences struggles helps individuals put their own difficulties into perspective. This collective view reinforces that life is not a competition to be won or lost, but a shared journey of growth and learning. Gratitude and joy. Cultivating an abundance mindset. The practice of gratitude complements Buddhist teachings by promoting an abundance mindset. When we appreciate what we have, even amid challenges, we shift our focus from what is lacking to what is present. This shift is powerful in reframing difficult situations. Instead of seeing a loss as a void, we begin to see what remains and what new possibilities may emerge. Joy, or mudita, is another practice in Buddhism that involves finding happiness in the success and well-being of others. Cultivating joy for others helps dissolve feelings of envy and reinforces a mindset where winning or losing takes on less significance. By celebrating others' achievements, we free ourselves from the narrow lens of comparison and competition, allowing us to enjoy life more fully and sincerely. The role of meditation, anchoring the mind. Meditation is not just a practice for moments of peace. It is a training ground for facing life's storms. Through practices like shamatha, calm abiding meditation, and vipassana, insight meditation, one learns to observe thoughts and emotions as they arise, without being swept away by them. This skill is invaluable when facing challenges, as it helps maintain clarity and calm. When difficulties arise, the habit of meditation provides a stable foundation. Instead of reacting impulsively to a setback, a person trained in mindfulness can pause, take a step back, and choose their response with awareness. This pause prevents the escalation of negative emotions and allows for a more thoughtful, constructive approach. Over time, meditation strengthens the understanding that thoughts and emotions are transient. Just as they arise, they will also pass. This insight helps people avoid becoming entangled in thoughts of defeat or despair. The mind learns to rest in a state of observation, seeing life's events as waves on the ocean, constant and changing, but never permanent. This reinforces the understanding that true loss is only possible when one surrenders the control of their mind to external events, which Buddhism teaches is never necessary. The continuous path. Growth beyond loss. Buddhism teaches that life is a continuous path of growth. There is no final victory or ultimate defeat. What matters most is the journey itself, the ongoing process of learning, evolving, and understanding. This perspective shifts the focus from trying to achieve a single defining moment of success to cultivating a life rich in experiences and insights. The cyclical nature of life, marked by samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth, suggests that growth is infinite. There will always be new opportunities to learn, grow, and deepen one's understanding. This outlook means that even when one chapter of life closes with what seems like loss, another chapter opens with the promise of new possibilities. The journey continues, and the lessons learned from past experiences serve as guides for the future. Conclusion: a life beyond winning and losing. Buddhism teaches that true freedom and resilience come not from winning at life, but from understanding and mastering the mind. Through principles such as acceptance, non-attachment, mindfulness, compassion, and gratitude, we learn to transcend the duality of winning and losing. Each challenge becomes an opportunity, each setback a lesson, and each success a moment to cherish without clinging. In the final analysis, you will never lose in Buddhism means that life's experiences, whether pleasant or difficult, are part of a greater process of growth. By nurturing inner strength, acting with pure intention, and maintaining a perspective that transcends immediate outcomes, we ensure that we walk life's path with peace and fulfillment. In this way, every moment, no matter how it appears, becomes a stepping stone toward deeper wisdom and unwavering inner victory.